I'm like, oh my goodness, nobody's coming on. I'm all alone. Me and you, Wilma, against the world. Yeah, and yes, I'm excited too. I really miss my kids. But when you have older parents, you have to do your job, your duty. They took me when I was young. I guess I can take them when they're old. Right? All right. Well, today, I'm still in Mona, Utah, and we are going to make fish stew. Now, I know people go, what? But this is really good, trust me. With the new year, I'm sure everybody made a New Year's resolution, and this is one of those recipes that is really good, it has a flair, and it's good for you. So fish is high protein, and you should have fish for dinner or in your meals at least twice a week because it's low calorie, high protein, low fat, so that makes a big difference. So we're gonna make fish stew and what I call praline bars, but really they're graham cracker praline bars. Sometimes the easiest recipes, so like if you have a sweet tooth and you want something sweet, you can just whip this up and you have a 90 calorie snack. You know, they have all these candy bars now that are itty bitty, you know, and so if you need a candy bar that's 90 calories, you can do it. I'm thinking it's funny, but anyway. So every serving of this recipe that I have, it's 21 grams of protein. We're gonna use, I'm using cod today, but we're gonna use cod and clams. So if you wanna use fresh whole clams, just make sure you rinse them in water and vinegar, let them soak about 30 minutes. Scrub them clean and then go ahead and boil them first. But I hate doing all that. I know it's funny. And whole clams are more expensive than a canned clam. Like these canned clams, it could be, are like $90 a can. I mean, you know, you can't go wrong with that. And they're really good for you, you know. They have 0 sugar, 3 protein per 2 ounces. But anyway, we're going to use, you can use any white fish in this that you'd like. I am using, I'm going to use cod today because I wanted skinless fillets and I have frozen cod. But really, you would be better off if you used fresh. So anyway, we're going to start off with a pretty good sized pan here, okay? And in the pan, we're going to add 2 cans of minced clams, juice and all. So be careful when you use, remember most of the clams in the cans are in natural juices and salt and that kind of thing. So make sure that you wait till the end of the recipe to season it with salt and pepper, because we want all the juice and everything in here. Of minced clams. And just so you know, I wipe the top of my cans off before I open them. Then we're going to have 1.5 cups of chicken broth. I have it in my little jar here, already measured out. And then we're going to have tomato paste. I guess I used it. Maybe. Anyway, 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Tomato base makes your recipe a little bit richer. Now see, I'll put this in the rest of this in a little Tupperware container and put a date and a label on it, which is so you know when it's fresh or not. Then and most people that have had some kind of gastric bypass or something like that, you know, you need the liquids. That's why stews and soups are good. Now remember, a stew is thicker than a soup. So that's one thing that you need to remember, is that stew is thicker than soup. So what we're going to do is lemon pepper. I have some lemon pepper here. We're going to add half a teaspoon of lemon pepper. I always like pepper with fish, lemon pepper and fish. But this has kind of gotten, then we're going to add fennel seed. Now, fennel seed is, I didn't worry about the licorice flavor, but we're going to add one, that was too big. So 1 teaspoon, so I'll do 2/2, okay? And then we're going to add, I keep saying that, we're going to add 1 whole onion. So I purchased a sweet onion because I like sweet onion. But whatever onion you have at home, by all means use that, because you want to save money, so just use what you have. But I like sweet onions. The only thing with sweet onions is they have to be kept in the fridge because they do go bad faster. The sweet onions do because they have a higher sugar content. Okay, let me wash this. Now I peeled it. So however you want your onions, let me wipe my knife a minute. And the flavors get happy and you get happy. I don't know. So I'm just going to kind of do it in kind of big squares. Try not to cut my finger this time. Woohoo! I'm gonna cry for you. I love onions, just so you know. I love onions. And this is a pretty big onion. But onions and fish go together. Woo! Oh my goodness. I'm going to set this on the stove and start it at low heat, medium kind of heat. I'm good. We're going to put, you should really have 2 large tomatoes, but this time of year, I have just kind of 3 medium tomatoes. We're just going to dice up and put them in there. So just cut them in round wagon wheels. And then just kind of dice them up, because they'll break up in the broth anyway. So we're going to put 3 medium tomatoes, or you should use 2 large. Ugh. And these smell good. These are tomatoes that they have ripened on the vine. They smell good. My mother loves radishes. I'm not sure how she's going to eat them this time. You know what I mean? Okay, and we have our tomatoes in there. I know, this is a lot, isn't it? Remember, this is a stew. So you want it kind of in bite-sized pieces, right? So we're going to take these out of, I love it when they're individually wrapped. There's nothing worse than getting through the burning fish. But as you can see, I'm using, so anyway, I'm just going to cut this in kind of, now fish doesn't take long to cook. And just because you're cooking with fish doesn't mean you don't have to salt your dish. Some people have a misconception with that. So you still have to salt your dish even though you're cooking with fish. Most people think, oh, ocean, fish, you don't need salt. You do need salt. Believe me, you need salt. So then we're going to put some garlic into, we're going to put a teaspoon of chopped garlic into our soup, our stew. Okay? So anyway, we have about 1 pound of white fish. You can use not salmon. Salmon is too strong a fish. Cod, red snapper, any kind of white fish in this dish. So we're waiting for it to come to a boil. We just want it to boil a little bit, enough to put our fish in. But I made brown rice in my rice cooker. This is brown rice. It doesn't look as beautiful as white rice, but that's okay. See all the onions? You want to make sure they get all translucent and soft. Our tomatoes, our spices. Hi, Heather. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? Then we're going to add 3 cups of brown rice to this. This is kind of a Mediterranean type stew. Okay? Look at that. Remember, stews are thick, soups are thin. So I'm supposed to put all this in, but I don't think I'm going to. It's pretty thick now, and I still need to put the fish in here. So once it comes back to a boil, we're going to add our fish, and then we're going to start our praline bar as this simmers and cooks the fish, and all the flavors get really happy. And we'll taste it in a minute to make sure it doesn't need anything else in it. Kind of wet everywhere. Okay. So then we're going to throw our fish in. Slide it in. And it doesn't take long. Fish only cooks in like 5 minutes. And we'll just let that simmer right here as we go on our next recipe. Anyway, so we're going to make praline bars. And I took a cookie sheet, but it's a 15 by 10.5 or whatever it is. And I put spray, I don't know what people, you spray underneath the parchment paper so that it doesn't move. And so even if it leaks over the sides in your pan, you still don't have a sticky pan. So I sprayed underneath the pan and I lift the sides on so that I can lift it out and cut it easier when I'm ready to. And this is so easy, you'll love it. You're going to take about 24 squares, not the whole. So this square, half the big one, is considered 1 serving, okay? So you want about 24 squares. See if I can do this different. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, I got room. 14, 16, yeah. So anyway, we have our cookie sheet here spread out with graham crackers. Alright, so then we need to preheat our oven to 350. Get it to go. You have your graham crackers out here. I have my trusty dusty measuring cups. You want half a cup of packed brown sugar. Now, I'm going to use pecans in this, but you don't have to. If you have almonds at home in the freezer, or cashews, they're just that good. You can use either one. You can substitute almonds or cashews for the pecans. Pack it. Scoop it and pack it. I'm sure there's a better way. But anyway, if you pack it right, it should come out the shape of your measuring cup. That's packed brown sugar. Okay? And the fish stew is simmering with all our spices and clams. Now, if you want to use fresh clams, like say they're on sale, you can do that. Just make sure that you put them in the fresh clams in a bowl of water and vinegar, and then you scrub them all clean. And then when you boil them first in water in your pot, so that if they don't open, you throw them away. Make sure you remember that. But this time of year, fresh clams are very expensive. So anyway, so we have that. We're going to put half a cup of butter or margarine. Instead of expensive butter, you can use your cheap margarine or whatever. So we're going to put this on, and we're going to let it melt all up. We're going to put it kind of on low. So once you get this, we have the oven heating. We're going to melt the brown sugar and the half a cup. Remember, it's half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of margarine or butter. And then when we're going to only boil it 1 minute. That's it. Because we're going to pour it over the crackers and put it in the oven. And this fish stew is very easy. Look at that. As you cook the fish, and it doesn't take long, see it'll start turning white. See if I can get a good piece up here. Start turning white, you know that the fish is done. But it still has just a little further to go. See, it's still kind of pinkish, more whitish looking, yeah. So you're going to cook this, and then, oh, look at that. But I don't do well with milk. So especially those that are lactose intolerant, this is a really good substitute for creamy clam chowder. This is brown sugar and butter. See that? It's all melted. We're only going to let it boil 1 minute. Okay? That's it, 1 minute. And then you're going to pour it over. And you're going to spread it all over your graham crackers. See if we can get this all covered. Ooh. But anyway, you're going to put this on here, just like that. Okay? It's all on there. And then you're just going to sprinkle some pecans, or cashews, or almonds, whatever you have. This is chopped pecans I had left from some Christmas dish I had. And you're just going to sprinkle these on here. And then you're going to put it in the oven. I always keep my nuts in the freezer, same as my chocolate chips, so that they don't go rancid or bad. And I'm a big fan of rubber bands. I know people, easier to keep. I know where they are. So we're going to put this in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes is all it takes, until it gets all bubbly and this kind of soaks into the graham cracker. And then you're going to let it cool only 1 or 2 minutes, and then you can just cut it where you see the squares, or you can just snap it apart. But I will show you when we're done. Okay, so our soup, I believe our fish is done. We're going to put it here. Now, you're going to take lemon peel. And you're just going to scrape it right into here. This is really good. So we have our lemon peel. If you have fresh parsley, that's good. If you don't, just add some dried parsley like I am. And then I'm going to cut, look at that. Oh, I know. Oh, fish stew is so good for you. This is supposed to be 4 servings. Now that means you get quite a bit. I'm going to cut my lemon in half. Try to squeeze it without getting any. Just make it kind of fresh for your, you only need about 1 teaspoon. Try not to get the seeds in there. 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, okay? So here we go. So 1. So this is actually quite a bit of soup there, okay? Just before you serve it, add a little sprinkle, just to make it look nice. Then we'll get a spoon and we'll taste it. Because remember, you still want to taste it and see if it needs any salt. Ooh. That's so good.
Any salt?
It needs just a little bit of salt, not much. More salt in this one. Probably about a teaspoon. So here we go. Ah, perfect. Oh my gosh. But this whole bowl only has 30 grams of carbohydrates, 21 protein, and 3 grams of fiber. So you get this whole bowl for 220 calories, which is awesome. So I'm telling you guys, your fish is delicate and white. See that? See if I can break it apart here. I love cod. I'm telling you. It's really good for you.
How is the oven doing?
Oh, the oven. It's doing good. It's almost bubbly. So anyway, we're going to see, I'm going to put this on the stove just to keep it hot. So let's see how we're doing. See how it bubbled on the sides? That's what you want. And you just see when you leave the paper out, as soon as it cools off a little bit, I'll just lift it out and cut it right where the squares are. And then we have a great dessert. Yum! So, I hope you've enjoyed cooking with me, Mama Pearl. And this recipe will be in my next cookbook. I hope you enjoyed cooking with me. If any of you want me to cook something for you, please email me at lessforgot@gmail.com, and that's just like it sounds. Small letters, L-E-S, forgot, F-O-R-G-O-T. My husband's threatened to put that on my license plate, at gmail.com. And remember, it's your kitchen, it's your family, do it your way. You know, this would also be good if you want. So anyway, I hope you have a good weekend. Glad you joined me, Mama Pearl. And I will see you next week. Bye.